Hey, I have two. No. You had others who've never been born, You still have children in heaven. Because for sure, the moment you have conceived.
Because we believe
that's a
life
human being. Yes,
begins
happens
at
at conception.
conception.
That's a human being. I think for me, I was very pissed off with my husband in the beginning because he wasn't showing any sign of remorse, any sign of sadness. If anything, he delved so much into work.
Yeah.
I was like, am I the only one who's feeling this pain? Where are you in all this? Honestly, I don't like how we normalize losing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be normal to have miscarriages.
Yes.
I think, yes, it happens to a lot of women.
1 out of 4.
But it shouldn't be normal. I know they say a lot of chromosomal but it's assumption.
Hello and welcome to the Wheat Podcast. My name is Maggie, and through this podcast, I hope that we can delve deeper into issues and have holistic conversations on situations and things that you'd normally ponder about and ask, what is that?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you are a new podcast listener, thank you so much for tuning in for this episode of the Wheat Podcast. This is just a segment to delve deeper into issues. We ask ourselves, what is that? So today I have a very exciting guest. Oh my God, you guys loved her in my previous YouTube video with her. And even me, I love her. Guy, I hope she loves me too, but I love her energy. And I'm so happy and honored that you've made time to come. Kukupata, nani Tuesday.
Oh, really? Tuesdays are our worst days.
So even before you call her, just make your prayers.
Make your prayer.
Please God, make her answer. Yeah, kuna line. Karibu sana Soila.
Thank you so much, Maggie, for having me here. I'm really honored to be here again.
I'm so
not
happy.
just for YouTube, but also for your podcast. To have this in-depth conversations in things that matter.
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations for starting
Thank you.
and taking the bold step.
So
my name is Soila. Soila Curtis if you want, because every time somebody asks me what's your name, and I'm like, Soila, uko na jina moja tu kama kuku, and I'm like, okay. Soila Curtis Wamalo is my name now. There are 3.
Is Curtis your name?
Curtis is my husband's name.
So what? Okay, are you Soila Wamalwa or
I'm Soila Curtis Wamalwa.
Wow, you took 2 names.
2 names. I love that man that hard. 2 names. Na mimi nikatupa 2 of mine.
I'm Magidana Bis.
Yes, you see?
Hey, but you've owned it back. I never knew Curtis.
Because him is Jimmy Curtis. No, kwa jina mbili ya English, James Curtis. So his name is James Curtis. But been married for a while now. Mom. To 2 amazing children. Thank you so much. I also love you. Please don't confuse it. I love you so much, Maggie. You have given me industry notes and wisdom, during our tea times.
Yeah.
So this is good for me. I'm happy to be here for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Again and again.
Call me again.
Hadi waboeke. Kuja huko kwenu.
Hayo kuja kwetu.
Kuja huko kwenu. Yeah,
requested.
Yes,
request accepted.
So if you want to check her out, check her Instagram page, Soila Curtis.
Soila Curtis. Actually, Soila Wamalwa. We do content personally. Okay, with my husband, I do content on marriage, relationships, and family.
Yeah.
But myself, content around motherhood, anything to do with womanhood.
Yes,
exactly.
That's why I love to have these conversations with you. The woman perspective. Yeah. So today we are talking about something very personal in both our lives. Something deep. Wanini ujaleta tissue, but we were even asking, is there tissue here? We won't cry. We shall not cry. And if we cry, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So we're going to talk about miscarriages. We delve deep into what is that? And it's just not the definition, it's just the experience of miscarriages. Because I think in Kenya, you're the first content creator whose content on miscarriage I came across. When I was deep into the trenches of, what's this? Yeah, what's this? So I believe many people have interacted with that video of yours of your miscarriages that you've had, but is there a way you can just share a bit of it? I really don't want taking you back there.
Fine,
but
fine,
for the new listeners, just what experience did you have?
I think in brief, I have lost 4 So I've had 4 miscarriages consecutively before now giving birth to my firstborn. And for me, first time it was strange because I knew I was pregnant. I don't know if I knew if I was pregnant. Yes, I think because I missed my periods. And then this time I was hosting friends in the house, and then a sharp cramp. I experienced it, and I was like, okay, let me go to the bathroom. And then I see super red blood. And I'm like, what's this, And got a pad, got back to the living room, served tea.
It's how you're supposed to just
continue with life. The rest don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So got back to the living room, continued serving tea, and then they left. I remember telling my husband around 8
You held it in?
Yeah, I did. We had guests in the
Is it
house.
that you were processing?
I was processing
Because
as
there's
well.
the denial.
There's also the aspect of, there's
Denial.
There's denial.
Is it really
like, this is just the bleeding. They normally say
Spotting.
spotting. But this is too super red and a lot.
Yeah.
And then the pain is too much. And I'm like, there's hope. There's hope. And stayed with them at 8 p.m. That's when I'm telling him. I was like, wait, what? Let's do this. Let's talk to the doctor. We texted him. He's like, okay, if you're experiencing something like that, must be a miscarriage. I think you can probably book in and come.
How far along were you?
I was 7 weeks, 6 weeks up.
Okay. Yeah.
So come along, and then it's 8. They're not open because like a private sort of clinic. So I couldn't go plan for tomorrow. So I went and like, oh yeah, it's like you've gone through a miscarriage. Here are the painkillers. And it just naturally flashed itself out. So that was it. Second time, I remember now when I felt the pain and everything, I was like, this. And then I think I was now around 8 weeks. I was like,
And
I know.
reliving that trauma.
Yes, I'm familiar with this. Let me tell you, the moment you have a miscarriage at 6 weeks, every time you get to 6 weeks,
You panic.
you're panicking.
Yes.
And
Even
I'm like,
before you get to 6 weeks, you're panicking.
And then by the time I'm done with 6 weeks, I'm like, oh, we've made it. And then I was like,
yeah.
oh, what is this?
Okay, yeah.
I remember that evening having to call the doctor
What
again.
is this? Wait. Yeah.
Calling the doctor and telling him, I'm like, okay, it seems again you're going through a miscarriage. Please rush to the nearest hospital. So I decided to go. Used to live uko Kikuyu.
Kawaida, outskirts.
Yes.
Mbali.
I know, maybe I'm mbali out of town. Went all the way to South B to have first of all sitting on that waiting area. Guy,
You're bleeding.
you're bleeding. You're in pain. No one is in a hurry. You'll just
You
have to go through.
You almost feel like, why do I have to wait?
Exactly, why do I have to wait? It's something sensitive.
Yes.
I know they had to call the gynecologist. So apparently gynecologists in that hospital, they don't work usiku. They are just there till a particular time. So they are called on need basis. So he had to be called, took his time. I think gynecologist and the person who was doing the scan. Because now I stayed on that waiting area for a very long time. People are coming. As in kwa line tu kama kila mtu. I was like, honestly, it seemed that it's just an emergency to me and my family. To the rest of the people,
Yep.
It's not an emergency.
Yes.
You're just as unwell as everybody else here.
Yeah.
Unless you're coming from an accident to be bleed.
Unless you're also visibly in labor.
Yes. There's also that. Even sometimes there are hospitals when if you're invisibly in labor, they'll just ignore you. Mama, kachini. Mama, enda ulebaria huko mbali. You know how people.
Utatuharakisha.
Utatuharakisha hapa. Tulikuwako na wewe. You know? So that one waited for a long time, then finally he came, went for a scan, so they couldn't see anything. It's like it already started flashing properly, so they couldn't see anything. But when they measured the HCG levels, they could say, yeah, for sure, you were pregnant. And it seems like you've had a miscarriage. I was like, okay, well, dawa nakupatianga tu nenda nyumbani, no counseling, no nothing. Try again.
So you experienced where you have to go take like a pill or insert?
No, no. For mine, for the first ones, for the first few,
naturally you waited it out.
Yes, because again,
it had already started.
So it was just a normal. It's like you're going through periods,
Okay.
but heavy periods with clots. And I remember every time I go change my pads, it just remind you are not just shedding blood. You're shedding off something that would have been a baby.
Yeah.
So you finish with your husband, you go back home, take your dawas, and that's it. I think now the third one, the first one is the one that I really didn't feel it as much. The fourth one that now came. But I remember those 3 clearly because I had to go to the hospital because of how painful they were. Now the fourth one is where I had to go through surgery.
DNC?
Yes, DNC.
Oh.
That extraction thingy because it was stuck somewhere here. It wasn't exiting. It was not in the... It was...
Were you in pain?
What? I was in so much pain.
Like
that Sunday...
cramps, but now
yes, it's pain.
There was blood?
First of all, it started with water. Let me tell you, I was in church.
How
Let me
long?
tell you, I
far?
think 12 weeks, going 13, 14 uko. Sunday afternoon in church, and I feel, after praise and worship, I sit down and then I feel like a weird
Discharge.
thing. Not a discharge, a weird feeling, but it's familiar. And I'm like, I just hope it's not a miscarriage happening. I took the car keys, went to the car, stayed there for a while. I started praying and I'm like, God, let it not be it. Went back to Ikaisha and Karudi. When I'm in church again, I feel it. I'm like, okay, let me just go rest in the car. Change my shoes. I was wearing high heels. Nika change there too. And now stayed there. Then I felt some discharge coming out. And I'm like, wait, am I pressed? I'm peeing on myself? Because it wasn't blood. It's now like waterish stuff coming out. I'm like, okay. Called my husband. Called Curtis, please come. There's something happening. We need to go to the doctor. At least he was close by where the church was. Like, we can easily walk. But we took the car. I remember because the church shares, that hospital has a church within itself, within the compound. When we were driving in and the discharge was coming out too much, I was holding, somebody, you hold your pee so that nothing comes out. And I'm like,
Nothing.
I
You
can
can't
control
hold
it. I can control it like pee. Please don't come out until I see the doctor. First of all, just getting out of the car, the parking was full. Curtis had to drop me close to the entrance. And then we went with my friend as he finds parking. Getting in, I was like, can I see a gynecologist? No, he's not in today. It's a Sunday. But we'll call him because he's my doctor. So they called him. And these nurses are just going about their business. And I'm like, guys, I had to shout for them to see the attention that I need. I think I'm going through, I didn't say like I am. I think I'm going through a miscarriage. Wait, what? So they took me to a small room, put me on a bed, and I'm in so much pain. They had to dungia me dawa because I'm like, I can't handle this. So a doctor was called, a general doctor, akaweka dawa, that drip thingy. I hate that thing for years, all the time. After when I'm going to give birth, I don't like that sandano. So now, when I was undressing, now I could see those stuff hanging. I'm like, guy, it's like the sack, yes. It's now water, completely my jeans were soaked, completely soaked in water, no blood yet. Soaked in water, and then now when you're removing your underwears and everything, I can see the stuff hanging. I was like, I even told my friend, can you see what I'm seeing? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God. So got on the bed. Then a nurse came, she cleaned me up. I was waiting for the gyna to come, and then the gyna came. I was wheeled to his office. It's like, okay, lie here. He did a scan, couldn't see anything, but I'm in so much pain. So there's a tongue thingy. It's like a spoon. He had to insert it.
To open up and see.
Yes, and then pulled out some. I know it's so gross. It's so bloody though. So pulled out, and then I saw some chunks of it. Kidogo, okay, I think everything is stuck there. Since this is big enough, we can't easily go through it naturally. And then the pain you're in, I have to take you for the DNC. So I remember going into the theater, and the last thing I remember is him. I don't know what he was asking me, and then I was out. The next thing, I was in the ward, and then Curtis was there, my friends were there, and after
Same
that...
day.
Same day.
So
Sunday, 3, 4
easy
p.m.
process.
Hakuna ku process. What just happened? I remember my friend going to her mom's house to get me her dera and underwear. At least she had new underwear in her house. Underwear to completely change my clothes. Ooh. And I'm like, what is this? So it's interesting. I keep on saying that word.
Podcast hosts. What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Know.
No time to process.
Yeah.
Unapatiwa tu madao utaambiwa ukuje baadaye, for
then
continuous checkups.
Oh my.
But at least they removed them, most of
heavy.
it.
That is heavy.
That is very heavy. And then a week later, I'm like, so I think after that, I asked him, so could you do tests probably and tell me what caused the miscarriage? It's like, no, we just dispose of the tissue. I was like, the fact that they call it tissue.
Yeah.
I was like, it's someone's baby.
Yeah.
Okay, I know, but what doctor tupia. But for me, it was a lack of sensitivity. In that process.
We are going to go talk about the lack of sensitivity.
But in a nutshell, that has been my experience.
Ooh, I want to hug you.
No,
come.
Thank you.
I've never hugged you because of that one. But that's heavy. Yeah. That's really heavy. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
For my experience, it was I knew I was pregnant. I was not planning though to.
Yeah.
But when I got pregnant, I was so happy. We had just started living together, and then we had even moved houses to now go to one that can accommodate a baby, like a bigger space. And then I was okay. Until when I said, let me go for my first checkup. I was waiting for the weeks to pass so that I can go when there's something. Yeah, so I think 8, 9 is when I went, because I was trying to align my appointment with Dan's schedule. Yeah. Then we go and hey, I remember that hospital. Hey, people are convinced. Anyway, so we do the scan and I told him, take for me a video.
Oh so my God.
I see the heartbeat.
Oh.
And then she checks. And she checks. You stop her.
Yeah.
She checks and checks and checks. And she's not finding any heartbeats. And she just told me, I can't see a heartbeat. Can you maybe go pee? We do a transvaginal scan. So I'm already shivering. I go, I pee. Before that, mimi nishawaisikia miscarriage ni nini? Yes, on paper. Do I think it will happen to me?
No, of course not.
We do the transvaginal and still there's no heartbeat. Yani, my heart just shattered. And she just said, I think we've had a miscarriage. And after that, we were told, we went to see the doctor, and the doctor was like, okay, everything on paper looked fine. My hormones, fine. Everything. Yeah. So akasema, let me check the scan. Hapo ndio msema kweli yuko. I've never forgotten. I was like, so that is the msema kweli. So every hope I had.
All that vanished.
And he's like, don't worry. You have to come back after a week so that we are sure. So this could be a miscarriage. That's what they call it. But on paper, they write what? Missed abortion.
Yes. Yes, they do call it abortion.
And I swear, I saw it that too. Paper and I cried more.
Oh, yes, they
what
call
are
it
you saying?
Oh, yes, I remember.
What are you saying?
I remember.
And I remember that week having to act normal, go to work, go for events. I even have a photo where I went, you're supposed to act okay. I mean, we are going to confirm with you in a week. I remember the journey home crying. Then I remember now that week when I was at work and then I started sporting. And then I told Dan, okay, I think it's happening. Let's go to hospital. So, kwanza hata in the middle of that, we changed gainas.
Yeah.
So now when we were going to the new gyna, because I was like, I don't want to handle this hospital because I don't like how they are breaking the news, like lack of sensitivity. Enda inje ngoja Evo too. So when I changed the gyna, we were me and Dr. Jemima is a gyna online also. She was a student at that time of the gyna, and he just says, he just does the scan and he's like, there's no heartbeat. I'm going to give you a minute to process and then we can talk. Hey! Woo! We sat in that room. We prayed. Me, I'm already crying. And then we went we prayed. By the year, we prayed with Dr. Jemima, and then we went. Then we were told we were going to have surgery. Okay. And then we went for the surgery the next day.
The DNC.
The DNC, yes. Yeah. And I remember just being wheeled into surgery. I was okay in the morning. It's like I was still in a lot of denial.
Yeah. Your body knows, your mind has a way of defending itself.
So I was just okay until we went for surgery. I only cried after surgery, like broke down. Yeah. Tears, everything came after. I was like, what? Like I was heartbroken, completely heartbroken. And I think those are the things I wanted us to talk. What people don't see.
Yeah.
Like what happened that you didn't expect, what you didn't like. Just those, what was the hardest part? You know, how it affects you as a human being from there, because it feels, when you go through it, now you learn about more people who've gone through it. But before, you are just, it can't happen to me.
It can't happen to me. It's funny you say that, because even before, by the time we were shooting that video, because you can also link the similar video.
Yeah.
By the time we were shooting, it was like years after. Why? Because also we are giving ourselves that healing period.
And you guys took us through the process of pregnancy, and throughout watching I was like, why are people having it so easy?
I
remember the episode for the miscarriage was like,
wait, it happened. Yes. And that's why we had to do it like that, because we again, the society expectation of you announce you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And then everybody's having baby shower, and then all of a sudden there's nothing to show for it. You know. For me, that made it like we have to go through this process in a very private way. Because also remember, even for the second last one before now, the major one for the surgery, when the doctor said, next time when you get pregnant, the moment you know, don't stay at home. You know, come immediately. The moment you think you're pregnant, come. And I did that. Went for week 1, your check.
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Nikaenda, kamaliza kusema, yes, you're fine here, your dawas and everything. You go back home, you're taking your folic acid and all my stuff, your pregnancy, whatever's. Knowing now since I've gone earlier to the doctor and I have this dawas, I'm safe.
Everything will be fine. Did you have like dawas for preventing?
No. That's the other thing why I had to change the doctor.
Okay.
Because this one, again, with the history of me going through miscarriage, he wasn't giving me anything different, anything new. He was just like, okay, kuja to the nurses. It's normal. You know, they say it's normal.
But how normal does it be? 4 times?
I know, it's a lot. I'm like, honestly, I don't like how we normalize losing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be normal to have miscarriages.
Yes.
I think, yes, it happens to a lot of women.
1 out of 4.
But it shouldn't be normal. I know they say a lot of chromosomal but it's assumption.
Yeah.
Unless they've done the testing to tell you, oh, okay, it's this and this. I don't know. I'm not a medic. I don't understand the process of identifying why you had to go through a particular thing. But despite them not having a reason, it's how they carry you.
Yes.
And how they handle you during that process. That really changes a lot. You can easily go to a doctor because of how they handled you or abandon them
100%.
and say, never ever will I step my feet here.
I cannot go to that hospital.
Exactly, me too.
I can't at first.
So the process was different. I think for me now, I cried the following day.
Oh, after surgery?
Yeah, after surgery, because I was now home. Still, my mind hasn't processed what has happened. Still high on drugs. Then my friend got me home with my husband. Then they left. I think the following days when it hit me. And I think for me now, I was off. I was on my leave days. I remember my immediate boss calling me and telling me, Soila, you have to come back to work because there's so much work. I'm like, I already applied for my leave way in Feb because we fill leaves earlier on. And then my miscarriage happened in August. So there's no way I'm coming back to the office. First of all, I didn't disclose what had happened.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you don't understand. So I had to tell her, I'm sorry, I have just gone through a medical condition. This happened. And I was, oh, I'm so sorry. And then the following day, they brought flowers. They were delivered home. I was like, oh, so sweet of you guys. But the healing journey for me is where now that was different. How I healed and how my husband was healing.
Because there are also 2 parties.
Yes, there are 2 parties in it. For me, I was emotionally drained. I didn't want to think, and I'm like, surely I must not be important to you, God. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
but for that. 4 times.
I'm like, I mustn't be important to you because why am I going through this? It really tested my faith, Maggie. It really tested my faith.
It does.
It does. Like, so what's so special?
Because you look at people who are having on social media.
Yeah, I know.
Will make you feel like everyone is having it easy, but you know, immediately I got pregnant. I followed all pregnant influencers that I knew. Follow. Oh, no. So the process of unfollowing, because I was triggered every time I'm on the app. Every time. So even right now, if someone unfollows me, I understand. Like, I was triggered.
Yeah, the triggering is every corner. Any pregnant woman triggers you. Any crying baby triggers you. Anything to do with children triggers you because you're like, that would have been me.
Yeah.
I remember my friend was also pregnant around the same time with me. By the time she was giving birth, it was just chaos for me. We were going to give birth around the same time. Even right now, her son is older. I was like, wow. I would have had a baby as old as your son. Anything brings back those memories.
It brings back those memories. And those are the things that people don't realize. It's not only the loss of the baby, it's lost hope. It's lost hope. Because I remember one thing that triggered me was planning my wedding. Because immediately I knew I was pregnant, me and my bestie, we were trying clothes, telling the people, please give me that one, a design that will
cover belly.
A belly. So because she's a doctor, she used to tell me it will be around here. And so
by the time
so when we are measuring the dress, we are putting that in
Oh, that was different, Maggie.
I was
Oh my God.
triggered. Even I couldn't go back to where we did the bridal testing there for the dress. I changed. I just changed. I mean, it reminded me of everything there. Like we were planning for it with that in mind. So even when I was getting a design, I was just feeling so triggered. So triggered. Like it's life experiences that you don't know will trigger you.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about the challenge of someone asking you, how many kids do you have?
Yes. What do you say? I have two. No. You had others who've never been born, you know. You still have children in heaven. Because for sure, the moment you have conceived.
Because we believe
that's a
life
human being. Yes,
begins
happens
at
at conception. That's a human being. I think for me, I was very pissed off with my husband in the beginning because he wasn't showing any sign of remorse, any sign of sadness. If anything, he delved so much into work.
Yeah.
I was like, am I the only one who's feeling this pain? Where are you in all this?
Yeah.
And I mean, he had to be strong for me at that moment.
They only think about us in that moment.
Yes, they don't have time to process their grief.
Yeah.
And for me, because he was doing a lot of art projects, he had to leave the house to go to Kokaran village because that's where his studio used to be, do artwork. I don't know if he hosted a masterclass at that particular time. But just the thought of him leaving and going, you know how women know how to draw them up. How is your life continuing? You know.
You don't know how to. Even you don't know how to continue with life.
I don't.
Me, I don't know.
I don't know.
We cry, finish, and then we continue.
Eating. No, I have to finish.
And then it's how the world also moves.
Why?
The world moves, and how many people will tell you, usikawie sasa. There's one person when we moved houses and they asked, do you have a child? And I said, no, I just had a miscarriage. Usikawie anza kutafuta mwingine. You know, the body still feels like... So she kept telling me, your body is still, saying you're the best before the hormones drop suddenly.
Wow.
But I just met you.
Yeah. You don't understand my story.
Like I also don't, that's not how I
me.
process things also. Like just chill out. Like the advice that can come after someone knows that, hey, you've had don't do this.
Yeah. Did you feel the urge actually of getting pregnant soon enough so that you can?
No.
You didn't have. No, you're like, I'm done here. Not now.
I didn't want to be pregnant anytime soon.
That loss was big.
Yeah. For me, it was, I didn't want. I think my sister is the one who talked me out of trying again. Just it might not be Nini, but I did not want anytime.
Oh my God.
soon.
I think for me, it's the doctor. I was talking about how my husband was processing his pain.
Yeah.
I think after now I came out of that dark season. Because I remember every day, the conversation that would be in the house is, how are you feeling today? How is your mind? You know, I was like, first of all, I'm not interested in anything, After this life thingy, you start losing interest for life.
Yeah, even things you loved.
I
just wanted to stay home.
Yes!
And watch videos of people who've had miscarriages. I did for a while. I consumed that. And then if you're crying on screen, I'm helping you. I was grieving. I was really grieving for like a proper week.
Proper grieving. I think for me, what really shook me the most is the fact that God never said, as believers, anything, or as human beings, anything that happens, because a person unajua, why am I lacking money? There's a reason why. But this one thing has no reason. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Why? 3-4?
When you're told you had this because of this.
Yes, because
it gives
of
you
this.
kind of closure. Now imagine what a missed miscarriage does. And I'm not saying this other one is. We never even saw blood.
Yeah, you never even saw blood. That is very different, For me, I even blamed myself that Sunday. I said because I was wearing heels and I'm like, probably I shouldn't have worn heels today. I strained my back.
Yeah.
I strained this baby.
We don't talk about
and then,
this process
of self-blame for having gone through a miscarriage. Even during that day, I was having my friends tears like, did I work too hard? Should I have sat down?
Yes.
Should I have done this?
That.
I shouldn't have washed clothes. Yes. Is it? But I've seen women who are pregnant who need to bring the work. Our parents who are doing the work.
I remember the thing I blamed myself is the other day I delayed eating. Food ilichelewa. So I kept saying, it must have been that day.
Yeah. Must have been that something happened, something.
Then how do you free yourself from self-blame?
I had to I had to go through my Curtis actually called a counselor to come in.
Oh, nice.
That's what, because I was completely losing it. There was no voice of reason that was making sense to me.
Kwanza, the more people tell you, don't worry.
I don't understand. And then the fact that not many people really knew it, apart from a few guys.
And you don't even know how to voice it.
Yes, I didn't know how to voice it. My sisters didn't know. My mom didn't know. I was telling them after, because this is, I think after going miscarriage the first time, I'm like, there's no need of me telling people that I'm pregnant until I have evidence to show it. So
that is the thing I was going to say, like, it changes you.
It does change.
It changes you with your future pregnancies. You will not be able to tell people when you want to. Not like the first one. You will not be able to share that, until you are sure. But then you push it because you lost at 6 weeks. I won't tell people at 6 weeks. I'll tell at 8. Then you lost at 8.
I won't tell them at 8.
First trimester siambiani. Second trimester siambiani. Bado siko sure. And then, because you've consumed a lot of content on loss, it's in your mind. Even if you've never lost full term, it will still be in your mind.
It's still in your mind. And
that fear.
I don't know. There's another thing. I don't know. It triggered me online some time back. I think the way they were communicating the aspect of grief and losing children it's like they were having lost a full-term baby is much more painful than you who lost at 8 weeks.
Ooh.
So it's like,
I'm
that's
like, something that's said.
I'm like,
much.
Excuse me? Both lost children.
So it so much.
It said, like, okay, so I'm not worthy of grieving.
Yeah.
Because my baby didn't get to a certain stage.
Yeah.
As like, you can't put one level of grief. You are worth of grieving 100%, Maggie, and you're only worth of grieving 10% because you did.
And that's one thing with the women
like,
who reach out in my DM. I tell them, please go through the grief.
Yeah,
you're allowed.
Yeah,
people don't. Society doesn't give you permission to really mourn.
If you wait for society to give permission, they will hurt you.
It's almost like you have to justify. But it was just 7 weeks.
No,
but it was just.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was a baby. There was a baby there.
That aspect was.
There was a life. There was a life there.
Yes.
A life was lost.
Yes.
It's that easy. So,
but I'm also very curious how it can affect your marriage.
I think now it's the drawing apart, whereby both of you are grieving differently. And I don't see you grieving the way I'm grieving, so I don't think you're grieving. I don't think you're carrying this with the same importance that I am. Because you're not showing too much. But for him, it was different. His journey with his grief was totally different. If anything, that's why he delved too deeply into working. Because it just meant that, distract himself. Because it just meant that I'm not thinking about this. This is, let me think. The only strength that I need is to be available to my wife when she needs me. Because her, she looks broken.
Yeah, I have to be the stronger one.
Yes, I have to be the stronger one. So anything to avoid that. So I remember our counseling session really helped us a lot in trying to unpack our emotions and note your feelings and trying to understand not really the reason, but just to understand the feelings that we were having, just to define what we were trying to go through. It helped. But the questions that, for me, when you're in a community that is small and people know you, and then they see you've changed somehow, and the first question is, are you pregnant? I'm like, why do you have to, wait for it? Are you pregnant?
Do you know how
question.
Naive I was before? I would, you expect marriage and then kids, and I would be quick maybe to think it. This day, I wouldn't voice it. I've become, I know. Don't just play. But I would, but people expected, when are the babies coming? And it's something I really got a lot while miscarrying. Because you've moved in.
Yeah.
But I'm going through it and I can't tell you. And that's why you should be careful not to be telling people.
It's very true.
When are you bringing the baby? You don't know what they are going through.
Particularly the moment you're done with the wedding. I mean, the next thing we expect of you is when is the baby coming? Yeah. And no one understands the journey also of conception. Because I remember now, before conceiving our firstborn now, who we got to give birth, took such a long time, and for sure I was convinced there's something of just conceiving, trying to conceive it too. I'm like, why am I not getting pregnant now?
Mungu kidogo hapo kama wewe. It's more frustrating.
Yes. I was like, I don't know, probably also gave my body time to just shed off of everything. I started being healthy to see if at least it can help me, carry a healthy pregnancy. Went to that good doctor now that has been with me throughout my 2 pregnancies that have been successful. I remember the first thing that doctor, when I went in, is like, has ever the other gynecologist told you what caused it? No, have they ever done tests on you to find out?
Nope.
I'm like, nothing was ever done. Okay. Different doctors do different things differently. But for me, because I wasn't there when you're going through, I'll just, now that you're getting pregnant, I'll take precaution. So I'll give you these things because I don't know if it's blood clots that cause the baby to misbehave. So he gave me those dawas. I gave progesterone. Yes, blood thinners, progesterone, for inserting. I was like, yo.
Aye.
I was like, if this is what it takes to keep a child.
Eki, you do it diligently. Because the thought of loss.
I know, despite the mess that those things come with.
I did it diligently, even if it was giving me nausea.
Oh, really? It did?
Progesterone gave me nausea.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
It made me so sick.
Oh, no. Sorry.
And then, throughout, when I now learned I was pregnant again, I spotted at some point. And
yes,
I was triggered. I was just, I got so depressed.
Me, anything pain triggered
because there was COVID. I was so depressed. I can't tell people. I can't see the doctor the way I want.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of having a miscarriage again.
Yeah.
So immediately I spotted Hosi.
Oh, yeah. Because,
and then I was given progesterone shots, addition to the ones for inserting.
Yeah.
Those things made me sick. But now I was like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
I just have. Because the thought of it again.
I just remembered your pregnancy, and I'm like, whoa, madam, you've gone through the most.
There should be another episode on pregnancy journeys. And then now I'm watching you're glowing. And Apple, naona Blue Room series.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
I know. I was like, God, people have it this beautiful and easy.
Yeah.
Baby shower hadi watu wanaume
wanacheza games.
Look at me here.
I've gone through the most behind scenes. I think the other thing that I really loved during that grieving period is having conversations with friends who've gone through it.
And that's what people don't have.
We don't have it. We think it's just you alone.
Will help someone.
You think you're just the only one going through it. No one will understand you. It's very easy. I think it was very important to reach out.
Yes.
And for me, it was my friend who reached out. I think my husband whispered to her husband that Soila we are going through this thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, what? You two are going through that?
Yeah.
And then she called me.
Yeah.
When she called, went for coffee and just talking about it, crying over there, yada, yada, yada. Even her experience of the doctors and how they mishandled her. I was like, equally.
Even
do they
you.
all come? Yes, even you.
Doctors do better.
Yeah. So it's not like there was just a warmth
towards relatability,
and understanding that you're not alone.
But if you're going through it, it's good to find someone and talk to.
It's very important.
Someone with a similar.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Don't die with your own.
I remember trying to think, who has gone through this? Yeah. My sister telling me, ata nani. I'm like, okay, I don't know them.
Because there's shame to going through a miscarriage. There's
until
stigma.
my mom said she had gone through a miscarriage is when I felt, it's no more. There are people in my circle who have gone through it.
I'm not the first one
to go through it. But I was dying. I was dying with, why is it only me?
Yeah.
Why is it?
And consulting Dr. Google. My goodness.
Google atakupatia all the answers. I know even UK vloggers who have gone through it. I was crying with them on the screen. I was watching. Most of what I was also very keen on is, did they get babies later? I was very looking for that hope.
Yeah.
But even through miscarriage, because you have no signs, I was looking for hope of maybe next week there's a heartbeat, which now you're totally crushed after.
Completely, there's nothing.
Where?
It's
part of the process for me was hating the word abortion. I think that twisted my mind.
Yeah. Did they have to use that word?
Medically, apparently.
Yeah, it's true, because I also saw it on my paper.
Yeah, medically they have to threatened abortion, missed abortion, complete abortion.
Yeah.
They use it. So bad. We lay people are asking the medical society, please.
Why does it have to be aborted?
Let's not. I don't know. I feel like it can just be changed. Syllabus in a changing.
I'm actually Googling.
Why is it?
Why abortion? No, what's the meaning of abortion?
Yeah.
And why do they have to use it?
That for me was that for me traumatized me. Getting the medical slip and imeandikwa hivyo.
That's the one thing that made me think, It's me.
It's me.
Yes.
It adds to you. It adds to the blame game of you.
Oh, you see, abortion is a termination of a pregnancy by removal or expulsion of an embryo or fetus. An abortion that occurs without intervention is known as a miscarriage or spontaneous abortion.
So
This occurs. Oh, okay, interesting.
Still, they need to redefine it. Need to redefine because of what abortion means literally in now society. Yeah, but what would you say was your hardest part about the experience?
Oh, I think being actually pregnant. Getting pregnant and then having to go through the milestones of every stage that I lost a baby. Yes, I grieved. I did. And for me, I was like, the enemy, you have no plan with me. I'm sorry. I'm going to try again and be pregnant. And then from there, now, having to wait for that 6 weeks. Okay.
You're told to wait,
7 weeks. You're told to wait 6 months before you conceive.
Months?
Yeah,
I was told, I think 2 months.
Oh, 2 months.
Yeah.
No, 3 months. Sorry, 3 months. Wait, was I told 2 months? I can't even remember.
Mommy brain, yeah?
Yeah. Cannot remember. Out of that period, you are back in business to look for a baby. And then you get pregnant. And then now having to get to those milestones. Let me tell you, for me, I couldn't do a lot of work when I got pregnant. Because I'm like, I am not giving myself a chance.
You don't want
or reason.
To. Yes.
Ati niliosha nyumba ndo
hata mimi sikuwa nafanya hizo.
Ati nilitembea sana. Oh, no. Let them say ati umenona sana. Because of just staying in the house. But I'm going to take my own precaution. I'm going to do my best to try and preserve this pregnancy. So for me, it's the hitting of the milestone that were very hard. I was like, it's 6 weeks. Oh my God. Last time I lost that this time, 7 weeks. Like those milestones would remind me of the babies that I never got to hold.
Yeah.
So, and then after year 12, because now the last one that I lost around 12 weeks, which was second trimester, literally. And then that's why it was hard for me. I was like, okay, now I'm second trimester. Wow, tumepita first trimester. I think we are good now. And not having to tell people, because I didn't want the aspect of, yes, you tell people and then there's nothing to show of it after some time. So I just give myself and my family grace period. You will know I'm pregnant when you see the belly. But let's not have this conversation, about pregnancy and all that, because it's also very new to me.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad the journey was smooth, and walking it with friends and my husband, and also with God. I was like, okay, I'm trying you again on this thing. Let's see how it goes. But for me, grieving has never stopped.
Yeah.
There are certain moments. I remember the other day, it was the beginning of this year. I was crying like it happened yesterday. And my husband is like, I really don't think you have really, probably you should. Yes. I'm like, I don't know why I'm shedding this much tears about it. You never outgrew. Yes, you never outgrew grieving, for sure. Yeah. Life, yes, grows around it, but it's still within you. It's like, wait. I was grieving those children so hard.
Yeah.
You see, you still grieve, yet you already have children. But like, no, it's not about.
But no one understands it.
And somebody will tell you are very ungrateful.
Yes.
For God has me. You have children. Why are you crying about the ones you lost? I'm like, that's what happens with grief.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think forever we have that scar of having lost children.
Yeah.
We'll meet them in heaven. Because those were lives lost. And I constantly wonder, how would they have turned out?
I know. Was it a boy? Was it a girl?
Was it a girl?
Yeah, I'm so triggered. Like, is that your first child?
Yes. What do you say when you ask your first child?
It's triggering.
Yeah, it's very triggering. You never know.
I remember when the wedding photographer was asking, any kids so that we don't miss them out on the photos? And I didn't know. Do I say no or not yet? Or I didn't know. I was easily triggered by small things. But people never see it. I think the first time I shared that I struggled to answer how many kids do you have was with you when you told me you too, and I was like, feel, and we almost cried. Pale kwa swimming pool, luko kwa shule. Just talking about it.
I remember.
Yeah, because you feel at least someone gets me. Yeah. At least someone gets me. So these are very necessary conversations, I think, for other women who actually don't have.
And it's beautiful to work with other women who've gone through it and like just keeping quiet and keeping it to yourself. And sometimes when men don't know how to handle us in that season. I think that's the other thing for me that I saw, that my husband, yes, he was really available, but there are certain things that I wanted him to say, but he couldn't know how to say it. He just thought, I'm here when you need me.
Yeah.
And again, you need the money, so he has to leave the house and go work.
Has to continue. I remember when Dan went to work,
has to continue.
The next day I looked at him like, you are working.
Yeah.
How are you working? And me, I'm not. You are working.
You're so
And me, I
pissed off at
couldn't
them.
work. I
Yeah.
just couldn't get myself to go.
Yeah.
And are there insensitive things you were told? Maybe.
Wow, were there insensitive things I was told? I'm trying to remember.
Out
Let me
of
tell you something
ignorance or
about. Yes,
not?
of course. The thing about me, Maggie, is I don't know. I might forgive. I forget a lot. Particularly, my brain has a way of
Forgetting hurt.
forgetting hurt.
Yes.
I know it hurt, but I don't remember
Yeah.
what exactly was
Yeah.
said or was done. Unless it's like 2 years old. Otherwise, like Kitambo, but I remember some of those things that were said that were really insensitive. I think for me, it's the doctors, for sure. The one person that you really trust with this process professionally. Yeah, they handle you casually and say, oh, don't worry, you can try another. You can try again. You'll get
At
a
least
child.
you could get pregnant.
At least you could.
There's
Rolling
that one.
eyes.
There's that one.
There's those insensitive matters, and
Yeah.
also friends telling you, are you pregnant? I hated that question. I really hated that
Also,
question.
when you withdrew, people assumed you were pregnant.
Yeah. No, kuna kakitu. You're gonna like, guys, privacy. Stay there. Don't. And that taught me never to, if a woman has not disclosed to you she's pregnant, don't open your mouth. Are you? You know. It's sometimes it's just good to give them time, because also them, they're not so sure about it, or they've gone through that miscarriage and they're still hurting.
Yeah.
They're not so sure about this current pregnancy. I think for me, fear really took so much of my even pregnancy journey. Because it's like, other people are having it so easy, you know. Why me?
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear.
Why
The
me?
fear that
Yeah.
engulfs you after
Yeah.
a miscarriage.
It's really a lot.
It's paralyzing.
It's paralyzing. It's
Yeah.
funny that when I was having my second born girl, I got COVID proper. Like those ones for having to use I've never used an inhaler before. I was given an inhaler by my doctor was on call every single day.
That's a really nice doctor.
I know. Every
you
single
must
day.
share your doctor.
Yeah. Uko, you know him.
Yeah.
Uko dawa ya
It's the same one I know.
Yes.
Oh.
Oximeter. I had to buy
he
those
was my
things.
doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oximeter, every day I have to send my oxygen levels. Ikifika certain nasema, okay, that's dangerous. Ikifika nana, fine, try to take her for a walk. Kidogo, at least fresh. Yeah. I couldn't sleep at night because of losing I couldn't breathe well at night. I couldn't, everything I eat, chakula kipiko, I want to puke. I'm not mefungana.
Pregnancy.
Oh my God, there's pregnancy and there's COVID, the symptoms of COVID. It was so bad. And for me, I was like, God, I don't know how this baby is going to survive this period. You know, before I was not sick. But here I'm very sick. And it's just not anything, it's COVID. I was wondering, is she getting enough oxygen? If I'm suffering here, I'm like, oh, yo. I couldn't go to the clinic because again, you have COVID and then restrictions.
Yes.
So everything of mine was done from home, from phone call.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, fruits. It was such a tough time for me. And I think it reminded me of the miscarriages that I had and losing.
Now
I'm
you're
like,
so close to
now
loss.
I'm like, Jehovah, let it not happen. Because
I can feel you. I can feel you. Gosh.
But we praise God. He gave birth to a very healthy baby girl.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
We
because I
thank
didn't
God.
eat a lot.
Imora.
Yeah,
We thank
Imora
God.
came out 4 kgs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how? And I didn't eat a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I really wanted us to normalize just what people don't see.
Yeah.
Just people don't see the emotions. People don't see how it affects you. People don't talk about how you move on and how life just triggers you everywhere. Yeah. But for that person who wants to be there for someone who's miscarried, what do you tell them? How do you tell them to be there?
I think just be present. Let the person who's gone through the miscarriage lead the conversation.
Yes.
And then from how they are talking to you, then you can also know how to come in.
Yeah.
Use a lot of wisdom and a lot of empathy because it's a sensitive subject, sensitive topic. I was having this conversation with a lady the other day, like a month ago, at her mom's event. And she was like, Soila, I see children here. And for her, she's not even a mom yet. She's still very afraid to be a mom. Hers was a stillbirth. And it's still very fearful. And for me, I allowed her to lead the conversations with how she wants it to take, the direction that she wants it to take. I didn't have to, I'm even just bringing my own experience. I want her to ask me, because if you're talking about you right now, let's talk about you. If she wants to know an aspect of me, she will ask me and then I'll answer it.
Yes.
But I wouldn't make that conversation about me.
Yeah.
It's about her at that particular time. So it just has to be a lot of its sensitivity and having the mind of that person, let them lead the basically, I think let them lead the conversation. Sometimes you don't have to talk about it. Just be there. Particularly when it's very fresh.
Yes.
Just be there.
Yeah. I think even for me, I just usually remember my sisters being there. They were just, I don't remember anything they said. I remember them being there. And even for someone who's trying to be there for someone, don't try and rationalize why it happened.
Oh, yes.
Because that's where we go wrong. I think, it's because...
No.
Do you know one of the most insensitive DMs I got was that this was very spiritual, because I had ever shared that the only person who shared their experience was my mom, and I felt like I related. Then this is generational. You should look into that. By the time I was getting that DM, I was pregnant, and I was like...
The audacity.
So what are you saying?
The audacity. So you, wherever you are, you have diagnosed me.
Hey. I stop rationalizing. Don't try and find solutions. I mean, not solution, but reasons for what it happened. Just be there. Just be there. Just be present. Don't talk. Remember, one of the most empowering conversations with my best friend, Petrine, the one who just left.
Oh, yeah, such a lovely lady.
Yeah, and she just took me for dinner because I had refused to leave the house. So she's like, come, let's go.
Oh, yeah. And then it's like, the moment you step out, it's like everybody knows you've gone through a miscarriage.
You feel like everybody knows. You don't want to leave. After I was going back to work, I'm like, everyone here knows. And no one knew. No one knew. But I just didn't want to leave the house. But when we met, I remember she was just asking how I felt, and I was telling her I don't feel like doing anything. Yes. And she was like, okay, just because she works with babies. And she's like, just imagine your baby is looking up to heaven. What would make them say, this was the best goddamn mother? Imagine that's the only thing that woke me up. I was like, okay, I'll look at it that way. Because I was like, I feel so defeated. I don't want to do anything. And to date, the journey of pregnancy scares me just because of that experience.
The experiences
like, what
that you had. Yeah, what if?
What if?
This is another test.
I think also, God, Amachagwa, the strongest soldier.
He does. He knows. And also trying to see. He does, for sure. I think for me, the question was constant. What if see women with children? Like, what did she do different?
Yes. Alafu, you meet someone who tells you, me, I didn't do anything. I didn't even take supplements. I didn't even take supplements. As in, nothing triggers you.
But I never want to wish a miscarriage to anyone.
Even to my worst enemy, I don't want
that thing.
it.
No. Not even to enemies.
Yeah.
Even just the journey of trying to get pregnant in itself, it's a tough one. So imagine having to get pregnant after taking a long time trying to conceive, and then you don't get to carry it.
And even the experience itself affects intimacy.
Yeah. It is.
Just because you've not healed you mentally, physically, it affects everything. Yeah. People should give it. So that's when someone came with unsolicited advice of try again now, before your body forgets you are pregnant.
I'm not thinking about it.
I'm not thinking about it.
Your womb is not ready to carry. Sometimes that's why they give you time.
Yes.
For your body to stabilize once again. But I'm really grateful for my husband. He was really around.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a journey that also encourage other people.
Yeah,
include your partner in that journey. Try to pull them close.
Especially checking in. For me, used to check in a lot. Yes. How are you feeling?
Yes.
How are you feeling? Yes. And I kept wanting to know how he feels. He told me it was very hard to process because he has to focus on me. Because I'm the one who physically went through the pain and everything. Trauma. Yeah. So it's very hard for them to start putting that now it's my feelings time. Hey,
them they had they had a
not
different way.
quite Soila. This conversation is heavy. This conversation was
like
heavy.
Not today. We are not crying today.
I really hope it helps someone who really feels alone. It's not the end of the world. You're going to get your healthy baby at the right time. But for anyone who's gone through this, receive screen hugs. Like, I really, it stops me to my track if someone said I had a miscarriage. Come here. I hug you right now because I know how it can get lonely. It is lonely. Yeah.
Let's normalize that conversation for
Let's
sure.
normalize that conversation.
Let's talk about it.
If you've gone through any experience in the comment section, please let me know.
Yeah.
Is there anything you feel like you want to add on this?
No. I think that's
You
it.
think, yeah?
Share the experiences. Maggie will
Yeah.
also share that video of
Yeah.
ours. I think now it's shared in depth. Also, my husband's, the man's perspective
Yes.
of having going through the
They
miscarriage.
should have
Yes,
that
they should-
conversation.
yes.
Man, we need
So,
really
it will be
women
good.
conversation. Yeah. It would be really
Yeah.
good. It would be really
Yeah.
good for other men and for women to understand men.
Oh, it's true. Plus, don't rush the grieving process. Take it
rush.
at your pace.
Yes.
See, ati lazima tomorrow you have to be proper and dressed up and going.
Yeah.
If the feelings come, please allow yourself to go through it.
Yes.
Don't push it aside.
Yeah.
Just go right the middle of it. If you want to cry that particular moment, cry.
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I believe this conversation will help someone. Thank you, Soila, for honoring the call out of your busy schedule.
Maggie, stop it.
Aki, we would love to have you over and over again. We'd like to also visit you there.
Yes.
Yeah,
karibuni.
but yeah, please go check out their chat. Is your channel Soila and Curtis?
Soila and Curtis, yes.
Yes, Mwanze podcast pia, si ndio?
Tutajaribu.
Nikuleta tu hiyo
Wanini
audio huko.
atakubali? Wanini unakubali?
Yeah, so go check out her platform, Soila and Curtis. Until next time, I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.
Share this content.
Yes. Share it. The Wheat Podcast. Yes.